Hey all, X-Art student here. Today I'm working on a custom order. I got this new wood burning machine and I went on my live stream on Wednesday and put it together and figured it out, tested it out, and I decided since I kind of know how to do it and I already did my celestial girl wood burning, let's try it. I'm fortunate enough that most of my family members support what I'm doing with my art, and it's really nice to be able to try this and have a new machine and see what I could do if it could improve my art practice at all. I am going to shout out my dad because he keeps watching my wood burning videos and he's like, "Do you need a new machine? Will it help?" I think he wanted a shout out as well. Thanks, Mom and Dad. Anyways, let's talk about the piece in front of me. Like I mentioned, I was hired by a family member to do this commissioned piece. She wanted Grandmother Willow from Pocahontas, the animated movie from Disney, the tree that is wise and like a grandma to Pocahontas in my style. And I was pretty fortunate enough to have my family member want it in my style, because I don't know how good I'd be with realistic trees. But it was really fun. It was a good challenge and I was very inspired. We started it off with discussing what she was interested in, different poses for Grandmother Willow, how she wanted the composition. I did some sketches for her and we picked the one that she was most into. After we did that, I sketched out the composition, like the final drawing, onto the wood. Once she approved, then I started wood burning. I'm not gonna lie, I was super nervous to do this wood burning piece. It was a new machine with new tips that I haven't used before, and I didn't want to mess it up because that would suck having to buy another one of these wooden circles. They're kind of pricey. They're not bad, but I don't want to buy another one because I messed it up. I was really hoping that I'd be able to complete this piece and make it look nice. I wanted to show my wood burning skills and also my skills as an artist. So I was nervous, especially this is my first commissioned wood burning piece, besides my parents. To be fair, they wanted me to recreate a piece that I already did, so it wasn't a new sketch or a new version of something. I've definitely found out about myself with paintbrushes, markers, or wood burning. I really like a tip that's chiseled. It helps me kind of think of it as a pencil, and it just makes sense when I'm doing those long lines. Even though it looks like the face is working out pretty well, it is the most nerve-wracking part for me because the face is the main focus. If you mess it up, everyone could see it. Everyone's looking straight at it, especially because it's a character that you're supposed to be looking at. It needs to be perfect or close to perfect at least. So I was taking my time and holding my breath while doing it. When it came to shading, I was pretty conflicted. I normally do this line or cross-hatching kind of shading technique, but I do have a shading tip. So I was like, should I do one and not the other? Should I do both? I kind of skipped over that part and went to the bark of the tree, which I'm surprised with how it came out. I liked it eventually, not at first. Anytime that there's like a hard part when it comes to my projects, I do the easier part and then work up the courage to do the hard part. My main thing with wood burning was that I couldn't get the curves that I normally do with drawing that I would try to do on a wood burning piece. It was difficult for me to figure it out. It's definitely not perfect and not what I could accomplish with a pen or a pencil, but I'm happy with the new tips that I have because I'm able to manipulate the wood burner much better. I feel like I have more control, the heat's a lot better, and it's fun. After burning the willow branch vines, I was like, okay, I need to do the leaves, but I'm super nervous to do it and I don't know how. So let me do the easier task and work on the bark because this piece totally needs the bark right now. It didn't. I was just afraid. Because I was avoiding it, I added a ton of detail to the bark, which I thought really made it look lifelike and textured. And I've never made tree bark ever, like this at least. I've only done it in a drawing, never with wood burning. It was really fun to see it turn out pretty well. Obviously it's not perfect, it's not super realistic, but again, it's supposed to be my style, cartoony. I just like how it looks. I think it gets the point across that it's supposed to be bark. When it came to the shading, I decided to stick with my normal cross-hatching line work shading because that's what I had in the sketch, so that's what I promised. And then, since I have a shading tool, I could use that as well to help amplify the piece. It was then time to move on to the leaves. I figured, oh, if I use this certain tip, I'll be able to get a nice leaf shape. It didn't work out well, but then I figured out if I curved my tip and like tool at a certain angle, I was able to get a nice leaf shape. So a few of the leaves at the top are kind of janky. I feel like the rest started looking better. And because there's so many at the top of the piece, it kind of blends together, even though it is a lot of leaves towards the top. Here I'm using the shading tip to go over the lined shadows that I did before. Here I was able to build up the contrast, kind of create more of a 3D-ish effect, and really get it dark in spots. I decided the bark was cool looking, but it needed a little bit more shadow work. So I went on, I don't know, every other or every couple other lines, added some shading behind it to show those different layers, show the 3D-ness of it. I think it worked out well. I liked it. It took a long time, especially because my wood burning tool kept going in and out with the heat intensity. But at the end, I was able to get the look I wanted and can't complain about that. With this tip, I was able to get really, really fine lines. I was happy with it. It felt like I was working with a fine liner or a pencil. I was able to do those little cool designs found in this image and put some sparkles into it to make it more magical, because that's what my client wanted. I really liked how that tip was working, how fine it was, so I went back into the bark and added a little bit more texture as well as some dimension and shading. As I mentioned, the face is the most important part and where your eye is drawn to, so I always like to add a little bit more contrast around it to just make the lines a little bit darker, so then it really pops out from the background. I'm going in with the flat shading tip again, just to darken things up, add a little bit more contrast and texture, so then it's looking the way I would be proud to give it to my family member. Almost done. I needed to add a little bit of paint to bring some color to this piece. We wanted that magical wind and symbols to have some color based on that image I showed earlier, and I really liked the pop of color. Believe it or not, the piece is finished. Let's take a look at those close-up shots. I really enjoyed this piece, and I'm happy that my family was able to support me and believe in me. Check out my posting schedule. Consider liking, commenting, subscribing if you would like, and I'll see you next time. Thanks so much, guys. Talk to you later. Bye!